Hey guys, how are you today? Let me turn on chat. All right, so excuse any noise that you may hear in my background, but we are here going live to talk about the CEO uh, partner support meeting wrap up from yesterday. The meeting was relatively quick, probably about 30 minutes. And so there won't be a lot to go over, but we will kind of dissect what's going on. I know I've gotten a lot of feedback about the meeting that was had yesterday. And I know that a lot of you felt like it was a lot of fluff, um, which we did not necessarily get the answers we were looking for, but they did give, I guess, minimal information. So let's go ahead and break down what was talked about in that meeting last night. I do have the chat open. I'm trying to get this chat. The box is messed up. So I cannot see any chat you guys put in there. I'm going to try to work on it while we're going through the meeting information from yesterday. All right. So first thing is first, we are going to fast forward to who is the new CEO. So the new CEO we met is Mohit Thukral, I believe is how you say the name. He's the CEO as well as a founding member and managing partner in Vivtera. That is the company that actually acquired Arise back in 2019. So if you guys remember, Arise was bought out in 2019, and that is who they were bought out by, that company. And he was a founding member of that company. He took Scott's position as CEO, and I believe Scott Etheridge is now on the board, with Arise, but he's just not in that CEO position. So that is who the new CEO is. He went over, he has 3 kids, I believe 2 here and then 1 in India and a wife. And he is based out of Miami. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm really trying to get this chat fixed because I know y'all don't want to talk to me in chat. But so that's who he is. Now we're going to hop right in because I know it's already late. So I'm not going to keep you guys too long with the things that were discussed that stood out for us. Globalization, that was a huge topic. And the clients going overseas. So what they stated yesterday was that so far only one U.S. client has gone overseas at this point, to Jamaica. And I think we all know who that client is. It's a roadside assistant client. So their move overseas was economical, how most of the moves overseas are happening. Now, Arise, everyone, a lot of IBOs are questioning, is that why there's no clients, no opportunities, because Arise is now global? That is not really what's happening. I know it seems that way because coincidentally it happened at the same time, but that's not the major issue. Is Arise going global? Arise essentially, and I've said this before, they reiterated it in the meeting yesterday, have set themselves up to be able to maintain and grow their market share globally. So what this means is the economy in the US, and we all know the economy is kind of dragging. Outside of Arise, companies like Dyson and a few others have already taken their business overseas. So we're going to see a lot of companies going overseas for economical reasons. We know it's cheaper labor overseas. Honestly, the people shown like the work ethic, I feel like, and I'm sure it shows statistically, is a little bit stronger overseas, and just different reasons. The companies were going anyway, so Arise is just setting itself up to be able to maintain their market share with the clients they have and expand it by offering those services. Now, again, that one client has already gone overseas, and I won't sit here and lie to you guys. No, I don't lie to y'all and say no others will. Once the economy keeps going down, businesses have to do what they have to do to survive. So if they can get labor for half the price and they're in a position of having to choose for survival mode, that's probably the direction that they're going to go in. But that is not what the issue is right now. We're going to go over that a little bit more in a few seconds. And no, they didn't say what the issue was at the meeting. It was a very brief meeting. But that is what they said about globalization. They have the one client in Jamaica. They're still planning for expansion in the US. No clients will be pushed to go overseas unless they want to, is what they said. They do have new clients coming to the platform. There's no date set on that, though, but they do have new clients coming to the platform for US-based agents. Another question about the globalization was, would IBOs have the opportunity to recruit overseas? And at this point, you do not. US IBOs recruit US agents. Canadian IBOs, UK, they can recruit out there. Jamaica does not have an IBO setup. And so far, India does not either. They're hiring them direct, like without the IBO situation. So at this point, they're not allowing IBOs in the US to recruit overseas. And honestly, you guys, as much as you throw around, like a lot of people throw around, well, I wish we could recruit overseas, it doesn't necessarily make sense for you if your model is fee-based and those sorts of things, because you have to think right now, you may charge $39, $49, $59 per invoice per agent, or a percent model. If they're paying the agents half of what the people here make now in the US, you're not going to be able to charge them $30, $40, $50 a pay period to make money, because they're not making that kind of money. So if the opportunity ever arose for recruiting overseas, you would have to diversify your monetization method and completely change that, because the same methods would not work overseas that are working here in the IBO world. So that's just something to think about when you're saying, if only we could recruit over there. They're not making what we're making here. And if you guys are chatting, I'm sorry, for some reason it is not showing up on Restream. I'm going to try to hop onto at least the Facebook to see if you're commenting under there. All right, next, economy and lack of hours opportunities. So what they said about that was the economy as a whole is suffering, which we know that the economy is suffering all around. So that is, this part of it, honestly, is something out of their control. A lot of people are upset with the rise for the lack of opportunities and hours. Arise can't control the client's needs. The client's needs are based upon their consumer base. So a few things are happening right now. Number one, we're in summer. Historically, Arise is slower in the summer anyway. Number two, with the economy suffering, spending has slowed down. A lot of things have slowed down. So they're not needing the hours that they may have once needed, a few months ago during this summertime. So they can't just randomly charge their clients hours that they don't need. They have to increase and decrease based upon need, which is a perk of using Arise's services for clients. And so we're affected, the agents and the IBOs. With the lack of opportunities, again, it's a lack of need happening. Now, one thing that they were very clear about was that quarter 3 and quarter 4 is projected to show a strong return and upswing. So around July, towards the end of July, we should start seeing more classes on the portal and opportunities becoming available. And again, they're constantly working on gaining clients. The way we feel about them bringing new clients, they feel the same way internally. Obviously, they make more money with new clients. We make more money. So this is not even like a battle. They're trying to gain more clients as well. But like I said, summertime, the economy slump, all of those things are playing a role. In addition to the influx, and they didn't say this, but I do know this, there's been an influx of agents registering in the portal due to a few social media, mainly TikTok. Thousands of agents over the last few months have registered, and I mean thousands. So when these opportunities are being snatched up, part of that is because there's so many agents in the portal now, registered. So as soon as opportunities come, they are snatching them up. So that's what they said about the economy and the lack of hours and opportunities. Again, they're projecting Q3 and Q4 to come back strong. So an increase in that is projected towards the end of July, beginning of August, maybe beginning to midpoint in August. Until then, it's going to be slow. So I know you guys every day are like, oh, there's no opportunities. You're going to say that every day until around that period, to where they start getting things ready for holiday season. All right, next, increased technical issues. I know that that's been a big point of contention for everybody. They know that as well. So what they've stated on that was there were a lot of issues going. So initially we had the ASD, right? Everybody hated the ASD. Everyone who's known it suffered. So they went from ASD to thin scale. Thin scale is having issues as well. There's no perfect technology out there, guys. With them being 1099, them having to spend that time in tech support, it sucks that they're not getting paid. Yes. Does it make agents quit? Yes. So you need to account for that in your churn rate, because agents will quit because of tech issues. But they are working to get those technical issues resolved. A lot of this stuff that they're using is new software, and they're continuously implementing new software. I know that a new portal is coming for us. There's a lot of new things coming, but we all know when stuff is new, there's going to be issues around it. There's just no way around that until those kinks are worked out. That's why you see a lot of veteran IBOs not really hopping to new clients until like wave 3, because we know wave 1 and 2 is going to be a little disastrous, right? It's the same thing with tech. Now, what they did say was they were granting every agent 2 global waivers that last 40 up to 48 hours each, that they don't have to go to partner support to get for tech issues. So 2 global waivers that expand up to 48 hours that they don't have to go to partner support. So y'all, I can't see chat in this. I'm using Restream, but I am looking on the Facebook page. I'm not on the YouTube page looking, but if you post a question on the Facebook page, I could probably see it there for those of you that have questions. But yeah, so that's one way that they're trying to help with the issue that they're having with tech, is those global waivers that they're giving 2 of them. You don't have to go to partner support. Another thing is you want to make sure your agents are really keeping track of the CA, right? Because the CA has been real out of whack for a lot of companies, a lot of agents. This is the time where you really want them to be documenting when they're working. And I mean, like, I have my agents taking screenshots type of documenting and making a Google Drive or something like that with what they're working, just in case they need to go in and dispute it. They also stated how over the past few months, there have been outages every month with some of the systems and software that they use. That was unrelated to Arise. That company itself had to resolve it. So they're looking to have a resolve for all of that. Some of it has already been resolved. The rest of it is coming up. So they're trying to say, hang in there. Pretty much the tech issues will always be there because it's technology, but it won't be so severe in the upcoming months. The other thing that they did also state was about the app. So we know that the app was taken out of the Apple Store and was previously removed. They said that there were some issues with Apple, but that those have been resolved. So the app will be back. If it's not already back, it is coming back up really soon into the Apple Store, the Arise app. And that was about the wrap up on the tech issues. So for the tech issues, they know that they're there. There have been issues within the softwares that they're using. There's been issues because things are new. You have those 2 global waivers up to 48 hours. They do not have to go to partner support to get. And I'm telling you, y'all keep an eye on the CA and track your time. Next. All right. Those were, honestly, the meeting was only 30 minutes. Those are probably the biggest topics that were discussed in the meeting. Another big thing was the fact that with trying to get new clients, and I mean, honestly, this is happening across the US with just the work ethic that's going on within our country, right? So, one thing that's very helpful with being able to get new clients is the capability to say, our people come, they show up, and they do a great job. Arise has been battling with an astronomical amount of no call, no show type of deals with certification and stuff like that. If you want more clients to come in, they're saying, hey, we're trying to do our part as well. But as IBOs, as agents, we have to do our part too. So when they sign up for certification and they're not showing up to certification, that negatively impacts Arise, it negatively impacts your company, and those stats can negatively impact their ability to get other clients to come on board. And that also has some to do with companies going overseas. And this is not, Arise didn't say this at all. So let me put that disclaimer in there. This is not coming from Arise. This is coming from me to you guys, because you guys know I have overseas agents, companies, and stuff like that, and US based. The agents overseas show up. They sign up for certificate, like they're showing up for what they need to show up for at a lower rate, and they're doing the job. We have to show up. Agents need to show up when they sign up for certification. Agents need to show up when they schedule to work. You know, if 50% of your company has a 60% CA, that's problematic. And yes, we know tech issues has been big over the last couple of months, but even prior to these last few months, CA has always been kind of a contingent point with Arise, which is why CA became a requirement in the Premier Partner, because they're trying to figure out how to get that up. So yeah, that's one thing that we can do on our end to kind of help with gaining new clients. Now, a couple of the questions that I know you guys have posted in the group, we already went over why IBOs can't recruit internationally, and I've already told you what you need to kind of consider when it comes to that type of request. Number one, there's the legal ramifications of having the international companies, but number two, it's how you're going to monetize internationally when they're making way less. So those are the things that you would need to think about anyway, but no, international recruiting is not open on the Arise platform right now. What should IBOs be doing during this time is a huge question. So I've had 1,000,001 people come and run to me about the other client that the pledge client that's offered as well, that's outside of Arise. And that's not I mean, it's a great addition, but that's not necessarily your answer. So right now you're in a slow period of business, right? This is just business as a whole. A lot of you are asking about government contracting and things like that. Your companies are not even prepared to even take on a government contract. You don't know how to bid. You don't know what an RFP is. Like, you don't know, you don't have your SAMS accounts, your UEIs. There's a lot of information that you need before you can start acquiring clients outside of Arise. I think that's my number one question. You guys see, I'm not that vocal in the public group about how to get new clients and where, because a lot of the companies are not structured for it yet. So during this slow period, number one, do not stop recruiting if you want to look for clients outside of Arise. Okay. You need leverage. Your leverage will be your database. So keep recruiting, let them be transparent about it. All right. You know, we have opportunities when they come up, you know, go ahead, use it as a FOMO, like what do they call it? FOMO, the fear. All right, you guys, we have opportunities, but there's not a ton of them. So when you see the opportunity, go ahead and get signed up for registration, or you may not have an opportunity to service for a while. So put that out there first off when they're coming in. They want to service, they want to make money. Hey, you're going to have to log in and look for these opportunities. When you see it, jump on it. There's no time to wait. Number two, like I said, you need the leverage. So you're going to start trying to get government contracts, whether you want to do staffing or whether you want to actually become the call center, whether you want to be a middleman like Arise, you need people. You will need a database. So if you can take your company and say, hey, I have 1,000 people wanting to work remotely, already vetted within my reach, and I can give you 50 agents or give you however many, that is a lot better leverage than you coming and saying, all right, well, what do you need? And then you're now scrambling to go find these people. No, keep recruiting, keep bringing them in, just be transparent about what's happening with the opportunities. All right. Number 2, you need to spiffy up on your knowledge. This is a slow period. It is a great time for you to get on Score. It is a great time for you to go into your local government stuff and research about government contracting if you want to do government contracting. It's a great time to go to things like Chat GPT or even just Google to start going down the rabbit hole of Googling the plan that you plan to take. If you want to know how to get clients as a call center, research it. Research competitors that are doing it. See how much they're charging. Most of that stuff is on their website. If it's not on their website, act like you want to become a client. But during the slow period, you are here. This is your learning period. You keep recruiting. You map out where you want your company to go outside of Arise, and you learn how to get there. And it starts with a simple search. It starts with going to your local business offices. Like I said, to the SBA.gov website. They have a plethora of government contracting information. I told you guys before to go on Eventbrite, look up Patricia Dozier, sign up for her events. Government contracting galore. I'm in almost all of those classes, and they're all very informative. Connect with other people that are doing it, but use this time to learn, to roadmap, hey, this is where I want to go with my call center, and research what you need to get there. It really does you no good to sit in the Facebook group and say, how do I do this? Because most of the time you're not going to get a full answer on it. How you do it is you get online and you research it. And there's a lot of free resources, but if you don't want to do the legwork for the free resources, just know that to get that information, you're going to pay somebody. You know, if somebody's giving you information that's going to make you money, they're going to want to make money in return. So that's what you need to be doing during this downtime. Now, if you get your plan mapped out to where you want to pivot to outside of Arise, and you sit here and you're educating yourself on it, by the end of the year, you can easily have another client outside of Arise. And sooner. I just say by the end of the year because I know a lot of you guys have families and other things that you're doing. If you want to go into staffing, you need to be researching. Go to Chat GPT and type in things like, how much should I charge for a referral fee to provide an employee or a contractor to a company? LinkedIn is going to be your best friend if you want to go into staffing. All right. You need to have your website set up. You know, I know some people get on here and they're like, oh, you don't need a website as an IBO. You don't need, per se, a website. No. But if you want to do anything outside of Arise and you're trying to do it in the virtual atmosphere and you're not going in person, you need an online, like 2023, you need an online footprint, point blank. It doesn't have to be a full-blown website. You can put up a landing page. You need a social media page, some reviews or something on Google. You need to claim your business on Bing and Google. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in your company, and this is the time to do it when there's not a lot going on in Arise. You don't, I have 100 people looking for work and there's nothing to provide them. Okay. There's nothing you can do about that right now. You don't have any other clients. Arise has no opportunities, but you can set your business up to be able to get other clients to fix that problem. You can put them in the database and nurture it. Email them weekly. Log in and see, hey, Home Depot's on the, I shouldn't have said that. The client is on the portal. Log in there. You can nurture those lists and build your company while this period is happening. So I am on the Facebook. If you guys have a question, I think it's Moment in Live. You can ask it on the Facebook because for some reason my chat on Restream is not working. Can I elaborate more on LinkedIn? Yes. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up a LinkedIn page, right? You already have your personal page. You need to set up a company LinkedIn page as well. Your company LinkedIn page would be whatever your business is. You can post blogs, whatever to it. You post welcomes for people coming into your company. You just kind of keep the page active, post a couple times a week on that LinkedIn business page. And then you'll also have your personal page. Once you have your online presence set up to where you're looking credible and you have a database going, you've got that stuff set up, you're going to start going to the LinkedIn search bar and you're going to start looking for recruiters of whatever industry you're wanting to staff. So like if you wanted to staff the medical industry, you can look for recruiters within the hospital realms or whatever laboratories, stuff like that. If you want to staff remote call centers, you can look for recruiters with places like Alorica, Telework. There's hundreds of work from home companies. You can go to ChatGPT or Google, put in remote work from home opportunities or companies that offer remote, companies that offer whatever niche you're looking to staff in. Put it in ChatGPT and Google, you will get a list guaranteed. Once you get a list of those companies, you're going to go to LinkedIn. You're going to put recruiter for and whatever the company name is. You're going to start connecting with those recruiters. When you hit connect, it's going to give you an option to send a message. And your message, you're going to make it short and sweet. Hey, my name is such and such. Whatever in my company, whatever you gave yourself as a title. And then you're going to let them know what you do. We staff medical facilities, whatever is pretty much your elevator pitch. All right, so it'll be a copy and paste. Do your elevator pitch setup, put it on a Google Doc. So when you're doing this, you're literally just copy and pasting. You're going to do a ton of them before anyone replies or cares, but you don't need 100 replies, right? You don't need to get 100 replies. All you need is a couple good contracts to set your business up for a minute financially. But it's just repetitive. You're going on LinkedIn, Google the recruiters from the list, connect with them, follow up with them. I see when they have anniversaries, I'm like, oh, happy work anniversary. Great job. I might go on there and like a post just so that I get visibility. That is how you can jump into staffing. If you're looking at how much to charge for that type of stuff, well, look at what the company pays for referral incentives. What do they pay their employees to refer somebody into the company? So if you're looking, let's say a company will just make up a name. I'll use my daughter's company, My Best Candles, and say, all right, we pay $500 to our employees for referring someone in after they work 90 days. Okay, well, you want that same $500. And this is just bare minimum. This is, you haven't researched a ton of stuff. This is you just trying to figure out, well, how do I price it? You can go the referral incentive route. You can go the route in which you're getting a certain percentage of their annual salary. It really just depends on what you're staffing, the level that you're staffing at, because the pay to staff a C-level executive versus a regular worker, that's a whole different pay. But before you guys just jump out there to try to grab because you feel like you're drowning because there's no opportunities on the Arise portal, sit down and have that conversation with yourself about where your business is headed, where you want it to be, and then educate yourself on that path. Because if not, you're just in the Facebook groups trying to take bits and pieces of the free information and pin it together, and you're not getting anywhere. 6 months from now, you're still going to be in the Facebook group asking the same questions. And this is not me trying to be mean. I hope it's not offensive. I'm just telling you the type of work that needs to be done on the back end before you jump forward to try to get other contracts. All right, let's see. If you're on the Facebook group, I'm gonna go to YouTube real quick just to see if there's any questions there. I'm sorry about the chat today, guys. I have no clue why It's doing what it's doing. All right. If you have any other questions, y'all know y'all can ask questions in the group. In our public group, I may or may not jump in. I don't jump into a lot of questions in the public group just because a lot of things you guys ask are very specific and they require more than like a Facebook post. But if y'all ask the questions under that, if you Arise IBO question list, I have been making live videos and then we post them to Instagram, TikTok of the questions that y'all have asked. And I answer it in video format where I can give you a more in-depth answer. If you want me to answer. If not, you can just post in the group. Everybody can answer it. But the long story short is business comes in seasons. So if you're ready to bounce after this one rough season, this may not be the business for you because there's going to be great seasons. There's going to be rough seasons. For me personally, I've been asked, is being an IBO still worth it? I will say yes. For me, it is because I've used this as a stepping stone and built many avenues outside of Arise. So for me, being an IBO as a starter point will always be worth it because it teaches you the basics of business. And then you take that and run with it as far as you want to run. But this one slow period, things are changing. Yes, we've not seen the worst of the economy. I think we all at this point know that. So things will continue to go down for a little while. You have to pivot and you need to find out where you fit in the market, where you want to be, educated on how to get there. And then you got to work to get there. So I want to see y'all in the IBO world in 6 months, hopefully. Like I said, right now, take this slow period to educate yourselves on the information you need for the next step of where you want your call center to go. If you haven't heard me say it, ChatGPT is amazing. If the free version is great, the paid version is even better. If you're not on ChatGPT, you definitely should get on it as a business owner. ChatGPT writes up SOWs, policies, they create contracts. You can get an answer to just about anything on ChatGPT. Social media posts, email content, social media content. So I'm telling you, start your research there. And then, like I said, branch off to Google and all that other stuff. And if you have questions, hop in the group, but don't hop in the group asking questions when you're not prepared to research and figure it out yourself as well, right? Because this is business. We're all adults and we're all in business. This is not high school. We have to learn it ourselves. And then everyone else is here to kind of collectively help. The other thing is too, real quick, guys, we're about to go, is watch in the groups. We do try to monitor it. The people that are saying DM me for answers, stuff like that, and we do kick people out for that, or that are promoting their businesses without authorization, be very careful of that stuff because like a year or two ago, there were a bunch of scams going on in the different IBO groups, to include ours. Some scams have happened of people selling things that were not consistent, quality was low, or they were just flat out stealing other people's stuff and selling it. So before you spend your money doing all this DM stuff and all of that, be careful. If you post an answer publicly and somebody wants to help you with the answer, they should be able to answer it publicly as well. Like, we're not on no rated R, rated X type of stuff. If someone posts a question publicly, put your answer publicly or you're going to get removed from the group, because I don't know without prior approval if it's legit or not. And we really try to minimize the scamming. All right, y'all. So that's all that was talked about in the meeting. Literally, everyone that said it was short and sweet or not sweet was exactly right. We're in a low period. Q3 and Q4 is projected to be way stronger. So hang in there, keep recruiting, keep your roster going, be transparent, keep up with your agents, talk to them, still have meetings, send emails, however you do it, text messages, stay looking at the portal. They do have new portal features coming up, like the capability for us to see clients that are going to be upcoming and available before they post. That feature is coming up. They don't have a release date on it yet, but they have been actively working on it. So that I can't wait. I know you guys can't wait because we'll then be able to prep for the opening of clients. But like I said, it's just a slow period for us here. We will make it. We'll be okay. Learn to pivot out, and then, grow your company outside of Arise, but hang in there. All right. Well, this is on YouTube and Facebook if y'all need to rewatch the beginning to see the other stuff that was said. Thank you for hopping in at 9:00. It's glad to see I'm not the only one that works late. And I'll see y'all next time for the next video. Oh, next month. So normally we do our IBO success seminar in Florida in July. We're going to have it virtual. It'll be in July. It'll be a week long virtually. It's free. The virtual one is free. I will be focusing heavily on setting up your company for government contracting in the free classes that we do daily for that IBO Success Week. So if you are sincerely interested in government contracting and need to get your company set up for it, make sure you're in that IBO Success Week, because I'll be focusing a lot on, we'll like step by step, we'll be getting in SAMs together, we'll be doing UEI together, stuff like that for that IBO Success Week to kind of help you set up your company to start on that path. So yeah, IBO Success Week is happening. I believe it's the week of July 21st. But we'll be posting about it. But if you're interested in the government contracting realm, we'll be focusing heavily on that. All right. Good night, y'all.